hot off the press. Bitcoin just printed this candle right here, a very cryptic candle found at the top of a rally, a red candle with a very thin body, wick to the upside, wick to the downside. This candle has significant power. This candle can change Bitcoin's next several weeks in a very large way. There's a hidden message with this candle that just printed. We are going to decode this message along with the other facts in the charts, and we're going to get to the bottom of what Bitcoin is getting ready to do. And at the end of the video, I'm going to tell you what you should be doing right now given this candle that just printed. Welcome, I'm Steve. Here we deliver honest, sponsorship-free TA with genuine value. Subscribe for a no BS approach that actually helps you. Subscribe. Let's get into it. We're on Bitcoin US dollar index and we are on the weekly chart, and make no mistake, the star of the show today is this cryptic candle right here. We've got to break it down, we've got to decode it, but first we've got to talk about the other two stars of the show. RSI, middle of our screen, holding support at this yellow line, significant. Bottom of the screen, stochastic RSI having a potential cross down, even more significant. Let's start with the bottom of our screen, and let's first start with what's the difference between the RSI and the stochastic RSI. What I want you to remember is that the RSI is overbought, oversold, and I want you to think of the stochastic RSI as our momentum. We'll get to more in a moment, but let's start with our momentum. Where is our momentum at the moment? We are potentially in the very beginning stages of having a cross down on the weekly stochastic RSI. Again, blue line on top, still bullish. We need the orange line on top to be bearish, to have price start heading down, to start having momentum pushing us down. But our blue line is still on top, factual evidence. The weekly chart has closed, so what you see right here is hot off the press, quite literally. What I want you to remember during this week is if you see the cross down happen or a further cross up happen, more bullishness happen, I don't want you to overreact. I want you to remain level-headed. It could cross down today, tomorrow back up, tomorrow back down. It doesn't matter. What matters is the weekly close that happens on Sunday, 11:59 UTC time. So this is hot off the press. We are in the potential early stages of having a cross down with our momentum. Now, if we had a cross down and it's next Sunday, what would that mean for Bitcoin? Well, plain and simple, we would have momentum coming to the downside, right? Now, let's get to the middle of our screen, the RSI. So how is the RSI different than the stochastic RSI? It's overbought, oversold. Well, what territory are we in now? We are way in the overbought territory, which means the herd is still buying Bitcoin. And we'll get to what the herd is doing based on this candle that just printed with this cryptic message. We are going to decode it, but let's continue with the RSI. Still overbought, right? However, we've got to give Bitcoin some big props. We closed above this yellow line in the week which saw Bitcoin plummet in prices with a quick flash crash that happened with Bitcoin. Now, if we look at it and we zoom out and we try to get a better understanding, what we know to be factual evidence, tilt your phone to the side and subscribe, is that every single time that Bitcoin is in phase 2, we get denied by this yellow line. 2012, phase 2, denied by this yellow line. 2016, phase 2, denied by this yellow line. 2020, phase 2, denied by this yellow line. So we were here right in this chair as Bitcoin was first approaching this yellow line, and we said, hey, just be ready for a denial. This is phase 2. We get denied every time in phase 2. Now, luckily for us, every time in phase 3, we break through this yellow line. Breakthrough in phase 3, 2012, boom. 2016, phase 3, boom, broke through the yellow line. 2020, phase 3, boom, broke through the yellow line. What is phase 3? Phase 3 is the phase that flirts really hard with the all-time high or makes an all-time high. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Phase 3 does those two things. If you want a visual representation of the phases, it's here in front of you. It's like building stair steps. The bottom of the market has resistance. Then it builds phase 1 of the bull directly on top of that resistance from the bottom of the market. And then it builds phase 2 directly on top of that. It's like the foundation of a house, all right? And you go into the next cycle. You have the bottom of the market with resistance. Phase 1 built directly on top of that. Phase 2 built directly on top of that market structure and that market resistance. And then the whole thing repeats. Every single cycle is the same. As soon as you break out of phase 2, it's very short while flirting with the all-time high or making an all-time high. That phase 3, it's a short phase, but the whole point of the phase is to flirt really hard with the all-time high or make an all-time high. It happened every single time we broke out of phase 2, all-time high very quickly. Broke out of phase 2 here, all-time high very quickly. Broke out of phase 2 here, all-time high very quickly. Broke out of phase 2 here, all-time high very quickly. Every single time Bitcoin does the same things. Now we're in phase 3, so we broke through this yellow line. Not a surprise. It happens every single time in phase 3, and phase 3 has the same significance. But what's interesting is that we've had a correction last week of about 10%, and Bitcoin is still holding above this yellow line. That, my friends, is significant. By the way, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, make sure you do that right now. Let's continue with this RSI. So overbought, oversold. When you get into the territory that we're in now, we reached a high on the weekly chart of almost 90. That is very noteworthy for the simple fact that if you look at how many times Bitcoin has been at that level or higher, it's significant. It's incredibly. By the way, in tomorrow's video, I'm going to deliver exactly what you've been waiting for. I'm going to give you the latest and greatest on my indicator here. And we were looking for some curvature to happen, as well as this chart and this chart and this chart. We're going to give the latest and greatest in tomorrow's video. Make sure you subscribe. Here we have no paid promotions of any kind. We don't make any predictions. We talk about the cold, hard facts and help you remain level-headed so you make more money. Hit that subscribe button. Really significant. You look at it, we just had sort of a double top, right? This pivot point from February 21 to right now, that is the exact top that we've had so far. We'll see if we continue this momentum downward or are we going to have a reversal in the RSI. It is clear factual evidence that we are pointing down at the moment. Are we going to see continued momentum downward over the course of this week, or are we going to see curvature, protection of this yellow line, and a bounce off of it? Time will tell, but the key in the whole story remains in this candle that just printed. Let's take a closer look. So what we've seen is a monumental rally, right? Dating back from our bullish divergence that we pointed out at the bottom of our market when everybody said that we were going to go to 10K, 9K, 8K, 7K. We were screaming after the top of our lungs, the bottom is in, and there's bullish divergence. It's the exact opposite of the top. If you look at the top, we were saying, hey, this was the top, this was the double top. The double top went higher. It's still technically a double top. And this double top had incredibly strong bearish divergence. You can see this was a high, this was a higher high. In our RSI, this was a high and this was a lower high. So whenever you have the price doing the opposite of your indicator, price is about to do the opposite. So price was making a higher high, price was about to crash, right? So the opposite happened at the bottom. We had a low, we had a lower low, while our indicator had a low and a higher low. The indicator was doing the opposite of price. That means the price is about to do the opposite. Price was going down, price opposite of going down is going up a lot. So we were having incredibly strong bullish divergence at the bottom when nobody wanted to listen to us, and all of the most respected people in the market were screaming that we were going way lower. So we don't even need to roll the clip. I know you want me to roll the clip. We won't even roll it. You already know it. But we'll get into this, right? We are at this level, 88 that we got up to, which is exactly this pivot point. And aside from that, if you really take a look at it, there's not too many times in the history of Bitcoin that we've been at 88 or above. You can count them on your two hands, which tells you in Bitcoin's entire history of 14 years of history that's in front of us right now, Bitcoin is at one of the most overbought areas of its history. Just a fact. I need to restate this because of its significance. If you look at the fear and greed index, we got up to 90, which is extreme greed. Whenever there's extreme greed, you want to be fearful, not greedy like the herd. Do not want to be greedy like the herd. Whatever the herd is doing, do the exact opposite. I just need to state unequivocal, undeniable, factual evidence that as we stand right now, Bitcoin is at one of the most overbought areas of its entire history. That is incredibly significant. But when you pair it with this candle that we just printed, there's a cryptic message that we've got to get to. And then I'm going to tell you what you should be doing right now. So now that we've got that out of the way, we understand the stochastic RSI, momentum. We understand the RSI, overbought, oversold. Very rare territory, can count it on two hands. Now we get to price action. We say, okay, price action, out of that bullish divergence, we broke into phase one. This is phase one here. And then we built phase two, boom, directly on top of that. Then we broke out of phase two, boom, into phase three. Phase three, short-lived until an all-time high. We're right on schedule. Now what happens next? Well, we had this run from our resistance zone here, our support zone, which was our resistance zone here, from that pivot of about 38, and we shot up in price. We had a very strong bullish trend. However, what you see at the top of this trend is this candle right here that just printed on the weekly chart. Looking at it, you can say, oh, well, you know, it looks kind of like most of the other candles. No. This one is significant. Okay, this one's called a spinning top. Spinning tops you can find at the tops of rally. They mean a very specific thing. You can find them at the bottom of a downtrend, and they mean a very specific thing. But let's look at the storyline. The storyline is price was rising, continuing to rise. There was a lot of momentum. We are at one of the most overbought territories. All eyeballs were on Bitcoin. All eyeballs were on crypto. Tilt your phone to the side and subscribe. And what happened is the bulls tried to take control. The bulls tried to take control and they pushed price all the way up into this 73.6 area, but they failed. And then the bears tried to take control, and the bears pushed Bitcoin price all the way down to 64,000 and change, but they failed. So the bulls failed to maintain the bullish rally. The bears failed to reverse trend, and we had a complete tug of war. By definition, this is a spinning top candle. A spinning top candle has a large wick to the upside, which we see here, has a large wick to the downside, which we also have here. And a spinning top, by definition, has a very thin body, which means the open and close was very, very similar, which means a complete tug of war, which means indecision in the market. Literally a tied tug of war between the bulls and the bears. That's precisely what a spinning top is. Now, when you find a spinning top at the top of a rally, it could very well signal a bearish reversal, but it could also signal a bullish continuation. Here's what I mean. If we look at the chart and we say, okay, Bitcoin was in a huge rally. It got up into this area. The bulls tried to take control. They couldn't. The bears tried to take control. They couldn't. The open and close was just about the same. It's a complete tug of war. The key to all of this, the cryptic message, when you decode it, everything lies on the next candle. This candle that just printed, again, has a cryptic message. As I mentioned, if the body closes above, it could be bullish continuation. If the body of this candle that we're in now prints below, it would be a bearish reversal. Let me show you a live example of this. We are in Bitcoin US dollar index, and we are now on the monthly chart, and I'm going to highlight this candle right here. Why? Because this is the same type of candle. This is a spinning top candle. Not a perfect textbook example, but it's definitely a spinning top candle. Now, we're in the same storyline, right? Large rally to the upside and a complete tug of war, which means the market was at a standstill. Bulls tried to take control and push prices way up here, but they failed. Bears tried to take control and push prices way down, but they too failed. And then the closing price was right in the middle, the same as the other spinning top. But that next candle is key. Where this candle closes, if the body of this candle is above this body, it's a bullish continuation, meaning we had a complete pause in the market, a complete tug of war. The bulls couldn't take control. The bears couldn't take control. Complete tug of war. And we look at the next candle, and it was a bullish continuation, meaning we had a bullish case here, and it just continued. Bullish continuation. That's what that looks like. That's the live example. Okay? If the next candle prints that's on the weekly chart right here, and it prints above this body that you see here, this could very well be a bullish continuation, okay? Meaning it could fake out a lot of the Bitcoin bears, right? If this candle that we're in right now, that's hot off the press right now, if this candle were to continue what it's doing and print similarly with the body closing below this, this could very well be the top of this rally at the moment, right? And then we would see continued weeks of falling in prices and recovery, right? That's what this candle has the power to do. Now, I haven't told you what I think you should do yet. We're going to save that for a moment, but I need to reiterate the importance of this candle, and it all defines on the next candle. If this next candle's body, the body of the candle, were to print below here, that could be the top of this. The spinning top would be a spinning top reversal. If this candle were to print bullish, it would be a spinning top continuation pattern, which tells you that the bullish momentum would go to the upside. However, when you look at it, we know that we don't have a ton of upside to go with Bitcoin, and we have a potential cross down in the stochastic RSI, and we have the RSI trying to hold above here. So what should you be doing this week? This week, I want you to watch this candle that we're in right now like a hawk. And where is it relative to the body that we were in this spinning top candle? Is the body below? Is the body above? The only thing that matters is where the candle is on Sunday, 11:59 UTC time, okay? So in the middle of this, I want you to remain level-headed. This candle could be bullish today. It could be bearish tomorrow. It could be bullish the next day. Who cares? I want you to pay attention to the facts, and the facts are it matters on Sunday, 11:59 UTC time, right? But we have the making of a candle that has significant power. Now, I also want you to watch the RSI. Is the RSI going to continue to hold above this yellow line or not, or start to have further curvature to the downside, showing that we are losing our stance as Bitcoin holds dominant power above this high level of 80, okay? I want you to watch that like a hawk. And most importantly, the stochastic RSI. This is what I want you to do this week. Stay level-headed. This could be a bullish cross today, a bearish tomorrow, the next. It doesn't matter. It matters where it is on Sunday, 11:59 UTC time. Right now, we're looking like it could be a potential cross down, but all three of these are going to work in tandem. And they're all going to scream the same message, and they're going to scream it in unison. And that's when we pay attention and we act accordingly. Hit that subscribe button. I'll see you right back here in the next video. This bull run is our road to 500,000 subscribers, but I need your help. Today, tell one person about our YouTube channel, how we spit facts, go against the herd, take no paid sponsorships of any kind. Road to 500,000, let's go.